Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Pyare Huzur. Start with the recitation and the translation of the Holy Quran by Hamad Hatir Sahib.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ليس عليك هداهم ولكن الله يهدي من يشاء وما تنفقوا من خير فلأنفسكم وما تنفقون إلا ابتغاء وجه الله وما تنفقوا من خير يوفى إليكم وأنتم لا تظلمون. للفقراء الذين أحصروا في سبيل الله لا يستطيعون ضربا في الأرض يحسبهم الجاهل أغنياء من التعفف تعرفهم بسيماهم لا يسألون الناس إلحافا وما تنفقوا من خير فإن الله به عليم.
The English translation of these two verses of Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 273 and 74 is as follows. In the name of God, the Gracious, the Ever Merciful, it is not thy responsibility to make them follow the right path, but Allah guides whomsoever He pleases. And whatever of wealth you spend, the benefit of it will be for yourselves, for you spend not but to seek the favor of Allah. And whatever of wealth you spend, it shall be paid back to you in full, and you shall not be wronged. Alms are for the poor who are detained in the way of Allah and are unable to move about in the land. The ignorant man imagines them to be free from want because of their abstaining from begging. Thou shalt know them by their appearance. They do not beg of man with importunity. And whatever of wealth you spend, surely Allah has perfect knowledge thereof.
Report of the Humanity First Conference by Ahmadiyya Sahib.
Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Most beloved Hazrat Amirul Mu'mineen and respected delegates, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. We are humbled and privileged to have our beloved Hazur Aqdas amongst us for this historic gathering of Humanity First in its 20th year. Following approval from beloved Hazur Aqdas, we started the preparation for this international conference 2 months ago, and by the grace of Allah Almighty, the response has been overwhelming. We have over 130 delegates here this weekend representing 15 countries from Asia, the Middle East, Europe, and North America. The purpose of this conference is to share the experiences we have gained from working in the field, as well as working on plans and strategy for coming 2 to 3 years so we can position ourselves as a truly global team. This is a special year for Humanity First as it celebrates 20 years of service to mankind. This organization is very unique and blessed in that it was established under the guidance of Khilafat-e-Ahmadiyya, and we continue to be guided and inspired by our beloved Hazur Aqdas. As a Muslim, it is part of our faith to serve our fellow humans, and as an Ahmadi Muslim, it is especially so because it is one of the conditions of the initiation into the community which states that she shall keep herself occupied in the service of God's creature for His sake only, and shall endeavor to benefit mankind to the best of her God-given abilities and power. Indeed, the promised Messiah ﷺ stated in a Persian couplet, "My desire, my wish, and my objective is serving humanity. It is my job, my faith, my inspiration, and my way." 2 decades ago, when Humanity First was established, our beloved leader at that time, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Rabi Rahimullah, mentioned this organization would serve mankind throughout the world without discrimination of color, race, or creed. His vision was to establish a charity that would promote the highest ethical standards, safeguarding the preservation of human life and dignity above all other considerations, and through it would symbolize the unity and brotherhood of humankind. By the grace of Allah Almighty, today Humanity First is established in 43 countries around the world. And during the last 20 years, we have served in 110 disasters in 51 countries, from the Balkans crisis in 1990 to the most recent outbreak of Ebola in West Africa. Humanity First has managed to help over 632,000 people with the aid worth of tens of millions of dollars. Through our development programs, Humanity First has delivered water wells and purification plants in 19 countries, benefiting 2.7 million people on daily basis. 50,000 students have studied in our primary and secondary schools, and just last weekend our new school, Masroor School, has started in Guatemala. We have been able to establish 30 vocational training centers teaching IT, sewing, welding, masonry, electrician, etc. to over 70,000 people. And through the Gift of Sight program, over 10,000 people have gained their sight back. I would like to take this opportunity today to remind our delegates that our beloved Hazur Aqdas reminded us that all our Ahmadis who work for Humanity First in any capacity must remember that they are Ahmadi Muslims foremost and must act as Ahmadi Muslims at all times. We must set exemplary standards of good conduct as human beings. Our workers should always remember that they are serving humanity for the sake of Allah and only for the sake of Allah's love. Hazur Aqdas said humanity first should always keep its ambitions high and be confident and be proud of who you are. Meanwhile, we assure you our ultimate loyalty to Khilafat Ahmadiyya and to work as your helping hand in dispensing aid and assistance throughout the world. Please remember us all in your prayers that we are able to fulfill your vision and remain obedient servants of Khilafat Ahmadiyya and humanity. Jazakallah.
Beloved Hazrat Amirul Mu'mineen, that concludes from our side. Jazakallah.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Alhamdulillah, with the grace of Allah, Humanity First is holding its international conference today and tomorrow. And I think it is the first time that it's being held on this scale. I hope and pray that this event proves to be extremely beneficial and fruitful, and may Allah enable you to fulfill the plans and strategies that you are devising whilst here. I also hope and pray that Humanity First comes to fulfill the expectations that I hold of it, inshallah. And my expectations are based upon the expectations that the Prophet Messiah al-Islam had from the members of his Jamaat. On countless occasions, the Prophet Messiah al-Islam spoke or wrote about the need to serve humanity. In this regard, his expectations were truly vast, and this is proved by the fact that he made serving humanity a condition of bai'at, which has already been read by Yahya, but I again read it. The 9th condition of bai'at reads as follows: that he or she shall keep himself or herself occupied in the service of God's creatures for his sake only, and shall endeavor towards the beneficence of mankind to the best of his or her God-given abilities and powers. Therefore, the huge value and importance of serving others should be imprinted in the hearts of every single Ahmadi Muslim. Allah the Almighty has granted each person many abilities or capabilities, and so it is their duty to use those God-given gifts to help others, and particularly those in need. Every person should utilize his individual talents or expertise for the sake of others. For example, doctors can offer their medical services, teachers can provide education, engineers can offer their skills, whilst those people blessed with wealth can and should utilize it for the sake of others. These are just a few examples, and there are many more. In terms of financial sacrifice, I am pleased to say that with the grace of Allah, the Almighty, there are many Ahmadis who spend in the way of Allah for the benefit of mankind, and who also sacrifice their time and effort in this cause. This is the case with both office bearers and volunteers. Non-Ahmadis are often left astounded when they hear that Ahmadi professionals have gone to the most deprived parts of the world only out of a desire to gain the prayer and love of God Almighty. They are even more astonished when they hear that Ahmadis do not allow for a single penny to be wasted, and so even some of them pay for their own travel and consider it an honor to offer their services, time and skills, completely free of charge. This is all due to the spirit which has been inculcated into the Jamaat by the Prophet Messiah Islam. On so many occasions, the Prophet Messiah Islam instructed his followers towards the importance of serving others and feeling their pain. For example, at one place, the Prophet Messiah Islam has said, there are only two complete parts of faith. One is to love God, and the other is to love mankind to such a degree that you consider the suffering and the trials and tribulations of others as your own, and that you pray for them. And so, here the Prophet Messiah Islam has mentioned a beautiful distinguishing feature of the members of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, rarely seen elsewhere, that where they seek to serve others, they do not rely only on their wealth or skills alone. Rather, along with their physical efforts, they bow down in sincere prayer, seeking Allah's help and assistance. They pray Allah enables them to serve with the true spirit of sympathy, compassion, and love for mankind. They seek Allah's help to develop a truly selfless spirit, whereby they consider the pain and desperation of others as their own pain and desperation. They pray that they are able to remove the tribulations and suffering of other people. We see, before going to remote parts of Africa or to countries afflicted by natural disaster, quite a number of our volunteers come to meet me or write to me seeking prayers that their efforts are blessed. And so, as I said, this is a great distinguishing feature of our Jamaat, that each and every act is conducted with only one sole motivation: to please Allah and gain His pleasure. This is the spirit of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community that has been directly instilled by the Prophet Muhammad. Always remember, the Prophet Muhammad taught his followers then one type of waqf, that is devoting one's life or time for the sake of Allah, is to serve God's creation and show love towards them. This requires true selflessness and love for others. It requires that a person does not rest until he has solved the problems of others and takes the weight of their burdens onto his own shoulders. It requires that a person's heart is consumed by love for others, whereby he cares not for his own comfort, but rather he cares only for the comfort of others. It requires that a person is ever ready to personally absorb all forms of distress for the sake of others, to consider the pain of others as though it is his own pain. It requires that a person is ready to bear personal suffering or anxiety so that others can live in peace and contentment. Again and again, the Prophet ﷺ said that his followers should utilize all of their God-given abilities for the sake of others. He went as far as saying that his followers should set aside all forms of religious differences and even seek to help and comfort those who oppose them. Therefore, this is the level and standard that Ahmadi Muslims should reach for, whereby they put aside all differences and are ever ready to help all people, irrespective of their backgrounds. Only when a person reaches this standard can it be said that they are serving humanity with the required spirit. Certainly, this is the very basis and purpose with which Humanity First was named. That, first of all, humanity, and one's own pleasure and comfort is secondary. Thus, every person associated with Humanity First, whether they are part of its executive body or whether they are workers or volunteers, should understand this philosophy and this spirit. Every member should utilize their abilities and skills for the sake of others and should be ready to accept any form of discomfort, hardship, or sacrifice for the sake of giving ease and comfort to those who are in need or who have been deprived in any way. They should not seek any worldly reward, but their sole motivation should be the love and pleasure of God the Almighty. The benefit of serving others is such that the Prophet ﷺ has aligned human compassion with spirituality by stating that loving others is a great means of worship and a way to attain Allah's blessings and rewards. Thus, with which Ahmadi Muslim could ever wish to deprive himself or herself from Allah's bounties and rewards. Keeping all of these points in view, I say to every member of Humanity First, no matter where in the world they are living or serving, that they must conduct their duties with sincerity and heartfelt love for others. Indeed, you should not just maintain your current level of work, but you should constantly seek to build upon your efforts and further improve the good work and good name of Humanity First. Through your activities in Humanity First, you will also engage with non-Ahmadis and draw them towards serving humanity. In this way, you will be bringing others towards Allah and enabling them to also become recipients of God's blessings. Thus, you should always maintain the highest standards of conduct and sincerity and be a positive example for others to follow. One further point I would like to make is that there are some people who believe that Humanity First needs to be kept completely separate from religious obligations. I should make it clear to them, it is religion that has taught us the importance and value of serving humanity. It is Islam that has taught us that serving others is a great means of gaining Allah's love and nearness. Indeed, religion itself is the very motivation and inspiration underlying the objectives of Humanity First. And so, to say the Humanity First should be independent and free from religion is completely wrong. There may be certain occasions where the rights due to mankind can be temporarily prioritized even above the rights due to Allah. For example, if a person is drowning, then a person is of course permitted to delay his salat in order to rescue them or rescue him. But the office bearers and workers should remember that such permissions are for exceptional circumstances. It should not be that at a day-to-day level your focus does not remain on prayers or namaz. You should not think that charitable work is enough on its own, simply because the Prophet ﷺ has said that serving humanity is considered as worship. Remember, Allah has kept some rights for Himself. And so we must always pay attention to fulfilling them. As I said before, it is our distinguishing feature that we seek Allah's help, and so fulfilling the rights of worship of paramount importance. And the Prophet ﷺ has also emphasized on it. Every member of Humanity First should remember that it is through prayer and prayer alone that his or her efforts will be blessed. All positive results are due to Allah's blessings. When we serve humanity for Allah's sake and then bow down to Him we will be fulfilling both the rights due to Allah and the rights due to mankind. In this way, we will earn countless Allah's blessings and rewards, whilst a worldly person will only be rewarded for his physical efforts. This is the very reason that our efforts are continually blessed and inshallah will always continue to be. Certainly, the scale of the work being done by Humanity First far exceeds the funds that it has available. Other charities could not do 10% of the work that Humanity First does with the same amount of money. This is all a result of Allah's grace and blessings, and you should remember this at all times. May Allah enable Humanity First to go from strength to strength and enable all of you to work with that spirit of sincerity and love for humanity, which the Prophet ﷺ inculcated and taught us. Ameen. Please join me in silent prayer. Ameen. डॉक्टर नूरी साहब को दिखानी है वीडियो.
Situated in the southeast of Sindh and neighbouring with the Indian border of Rajasthan, Tharparkar is one of the most underdeveloped areas in rural Pakistan. Covering approximately 20,000 square kilometers of barren land, the local residents known as Tharis lack even the basic necessities of life. Made of wood and dry bushes, the inhabitants of the area reside in small houses called choras. Families living in the area would on an average have 8 to 10 children, but lack the necessary resources or nutrition to feed them. In Tharparkar, the responsibility to get water for the family primarily lies upon the women of the house. These women would normally be accompanied by their children and would at times walk up to 6 to 8 hours each morning simply to fetch a few liters of water. This water would usually be in open ponds or small temporary water wells built in order to collect rainwater. Containing all kinds of filth and dirt in it, the water collected is in no way suitable for the use of humans or even animals, and leads to the death of hundreds of children each year.
The fluoride content within the old water wells was so high that one of the common diseases which is seen in this part of the world is what we call as fluorosis. Fluoride in high content deposits gets deposited into the bones, into the spine. That's why most of these individuals, as they grow old, they get spinal deformities and as a result die at a very early age.
वेला उठे तमे पानी भरवा पानी रे मन जाम तंगई से पण तमे वेरे दीते वहां करे जाम चवल थई पण जो बीजे वेरे खपाए तालाब में मेल्टी पास से आगे किनो पानी गंदो पानी पीता मालन मोणन गंदेड़ा कूतरा कोई बधाई भेड़ा पीता कोई डिलीवरी थे नगर पुगे न एक ते विसून परडन कोई पुगे का कोई न पुगे ते एथे बापड़ी मरी जाए सो
Humanity First Pakistan undertook this challenge of digging in water wells in order to provide clean drinking water to the residents of this area. The water wells which we have dug in a number of villages have done a miraculous work for the residents of those areas. But the challenges which we faced were extremely great. For example, at times we had to dig through solid rock which took hours, and in the sweltering heat of summers, particularly the months of June, July and August, there were various, not I would say casualties, but some people even felt unconscious.
In search of clean drinking water, sometimes wells have to be dug as deep as 400 feet into the surface.
तकलीफ़ जाम है अगे पुराना खूह हुआ खूह थी वो खारो मैटाणो गलो हो हींअर असां दरकार ॾिनी हुई पंहिंजे मिट्टी फेस्टिवल उन में असांखे खूह ॾिनो आहे खोटाई करूं पिया पथर अची वियो खोटाई करूं था ख़ुदा कंदो पाणी मिठो ईंदो हुननि जी भलाई असांखे ॾिनो आहे
At times, wells had to be dug through hard rock, which would both double the cost and the time spent on it. Humanity First reaches out to people from within the village to work for them and be part of a wider team of Humanity First.
Humanity First की सुठी बात ऐस है तो जो खूह अमोने दिनो गयो वो ला जो लेबर्स है वो हमारे गोमरी राखी ए बेहतर में बेहतर ऐस है हमारी मजूरी 4 महीनों री खुली अन फुट रहे हिसाबों जो मजूरी सो अमोने गांव वालों दीनी ये एक वडी तुम्हारी मेहरबानी.
This not only earns the residents of the village a livelihood, but also gives them a sense of ownership and helps maintain these water wells. During our Water for Life project in Tharparkar, we witnessed various catastrophes faced by the residents of those areas. One such tragedy took place on the 6th of May 2014, which shook the very lives of 65 families.
इथे 6 महीनो वाक्य थियो तकरीबन 2 वागे 3 वागे आग लग गई गांव में। आग 65 चोरा तबाही थी जल्दी हर शे का शे न रही का शे तीलो न रही कख भी अतो न रही का रालोई जा का इंसान आपरे मने जान बचावे कोरो मने जो गरम हुता वड़ा था गर्मी री मौसम थई तो खमीस उता वड़ा खमीस उते साडे आपरे जान बचावे अन गोठ में बाहर निकले मने का खादा पीदा शे न रही का शे न निक माल भी बकरे जली गई।
फरी आवई बदेल अन बदल के न बेचो અમે ભાગી ભાગીને જાય ને બારા બેઠા હો સીમમાં અમારો આપણો દિમાગ એ ખરાબ થઈ ગયો અજાનથી ઠીક થયો બચ્ચા લઈને ભાગે મે ભાગ્યાની કોશિશ કરી બહાર ગયા પણ ઉઠે કે મને રાલ લઈને કો કે ન જળે જેની બેઠા પટમાં હતા બધા ઘર બળી ગયા અમાર આપરી મિલકત બદરાઉ ગોઠ બધા મારી મિલકત જમ બળી ઈ કરો દુકાન સડી ગયા માર તો દિમાગ એથી થઈ
कई तंजीमों आवे कई अधारा आया था पण हमारी मने मदद कहीं न करी हमारी मदद पर मतलब होम असिस्ट तो अधारो आयो वो आवे अतो पूछो कि भाई तमे थे अमे खाली आसमान हेठ बैठा था सीम में वणो हेठ छोयो के तो ने वो आवे खादो पीदो मन तो के गरीब इंसान को गोमरी कने दीधो तो अन पसे वो पूछो पे वो अमोने मने धेगो उतारे बतनो नो बाळो खाया बिस्कुट चाय ये हमारी मदद करे वो पहली शुरुआत में अमन खादो खोराक बिस्कुट चाय वो होंजरे टोणे अमन आवे वो मणी आवे ने बालों ने लगन छुड़ाया। ये अमन लकड़ी दी ने ये अमन चारपाई वगैरह कपड़ा बर्तन वगैरह ये बधो राशन अमन दीनो अन वो उठाया ये अदारो मिसे अदारो है बधी मदद ये कर।
The team of Humanity First worked tirelessly for the people of Kohara and at the end were able to restore the entire village, housing 250 persons, to a condition even better than before. Once a water well is complete, we invite the head of the village, known as the Patel, to inaugurate it. This gesture might appear as trivial, but it gives the residents of the village an overwhelming feeling of joy and happiness.
जे माने वेरी पहलो बराबर वेरी होते जथे पण शेटी तो माने 2-3 कलाक में जाता भरवा उठे जदी माने बाल बच्चो माने उठे माने जायद तो उठे जरूर अते टाइम लागते माने पानी खारो होतो और शेटी टाइम होती उठे माने।
आते साडो ठल कर रहन साडो मन सबलत मन मिले बधई ढुकड़े गोमरा तरफो मन पक्के वेरे बंधाणे ताकेड़ कच्ची वेरे तई मन बधो मन दुख तो पानी रो माल रो तणो तणो भाई હવે મને બધાય સવલત છે પાણી રે અને એડે એડો મીઠો રહે પાણી
અને ઠીક વેટી ફાઈટ વાળા મને વેરી દી નહીં થાય મને ઘરે અંદર મંદીનો સુખ થયો પાણી થયો મીઠો પાણી થયો મને જે મીઠો પાણી થયો ઘર અંદર પાણી થયો મને સુખ મોટું વાત થઈ ગઈ નકા મને ટાઈમ જાયા હતી જમ હતો સહી तहेवारे कहीं भगवान तुम्हारो भलो करे जो हमारो भलो थयो।
This Water for Life project in Tharparkar, with the help of Humanity First International and the D4 countries, has achieved wonders and has changed the life of thousands of people living in those areas. However, this is just a small percentage of what all needs to be done. Humanity First Pakistan has thus launched a Donate a Well campaign with the aim to one day provide clean drinking water to each and every person living in Tharparkar. Through this campaign, you can donate a hand-dug water well in your name or any of your loved one's name for just $3,500 and provide clean drinking water to up to 150 families, 1,500 persons and around 2,000 livestock. So stand up for humanity and donate a well now. If each family simply takes the responsibility of gathering enough funds for just one well, we could make a difference and save hundreds of children dying each year in Tharparkar.